Hi, and welcome to today's chair standing yoga practice. We are going to need a couple of props for today. The mat, as we normally would have, and then also a chair. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. I just have a basic folding chair that I'm going to use here. And then if you've done any practices with me before, you know that I always practice in silence. But if you prefer some music, you might want to go ahead and get some of that queued up and started there at home for yourself. But we're just going to have our mat laid out. And then the chair, we're going to start with the high part facing us. You can always change, and I'll show you perhaps during the practice as well. You can always flip the chair around as your practice progresses, and you can fold a little further. But it's always nice to start with the back of the chair, with the highest part facing you, and adjust from there. So we'll set the chair up here at just the top of the mat, and we'll come to standing back behind. We'll have the feet about hips distance apart. A nice tall spine. Arms are relaxed down at our sides. The shoulders are down and back. And just for a moment, we're going to blink the eyes closed. If you're worried about that balance, take a little bit of a step closer to the chair so you can feel the chair with your hand. Slow that breath down. Deepen the breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose and sending it nice and low into the belly. And then on that exhale, letting it come all the way out, up and back out through the nose. Nice and slow. Just giving yourself permission to be fully present in your practice and to be gracious in the practice to yourself, that you are meeting yourself here on the mat. No expectations of what the body will or should do, just what it's going to do today for you. We're going to start the movement with just some shoulder circles. So we'll inhale those shoulders up, exhale, roll them down the back. Nice and slow here, inhaling up, exhaling down. Feel how nice and low the shoulders go down the back. And we'll switch directions. Inhaling those shoulders up, and then just rolling them forward. Then we're going to take one shoulder at a time. So inhale, squeeze that right shoulder up and then back, and then we'll bring the left. One shoulder at a time. Yeah. We'll find that neutral spine again. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. And then we're going to roll the shoulders open, and then we're going to try to just gently pull the hands away from the lower back. So you should feel that stretch in the arms and the shoulder, opening up the chest. Again, never pulling or pushing the body too far. Should be very nourishing. Just a nice stretch. And gently lower back down. We're going to start our movement with some sun salutations using the chair. So we're going to turn and face the back of that chair. Feet still about hips distance apart. On the inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, we're going to keep a nice flat back as we hinge forward. We're going to hold on to the chair, and then we're going to let that head and neck round and release. When we breathe in, we're going to find what we call a halfway lift and try to flatten out that back. So think about opening the shoulders, sending the hips back so that the back flattens out. Exhale, relax and fold forward. Inhale, we're going to come up nice and slow. And then if we're comfortable with it, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead. You can also just sweep one arm and keep one hand on that chair. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping a nice flat back, and fold. Inhale that halfway lift. Again, I'm trying to flatten out my back. I'm just looking down at the chair. And exhale, relax and fold. Inhale, I'm going to slowly come up and sweep the arms. If I'm doing one arm at a time, I'm going to sweep the opposite arm up. We're going to progress a little further here. So this time we're going to exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to look at the chair. We're going to step our feet back so that our arms are straight. And then on that exhale, we're going to try to sink the chest and head through the arms, looking at the legs. You should feel a nice stretch in the shoulders, the back, and the legs. This is our down dog with our chair. Inhale, we're going to look up at the chair. Take a little step forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale for that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, we're going to sweep those arms up. And do that a couple more times. Exhale, fold. And as you get a little bit more comfortable and flexible, if you want to have a little more space between you and the chair on the fold, you can let the head fold further. Inhale, halfway lift, that nice flat back. Exhale, fold. You can always walk the hands down to different parts of the chair as you need to. Inhale, we're going to bring those hands to the top of the chair if they're not there already. Step those feet back, still hips distance apart. And exhale, sink that head and chest through the arms, looking at the legs for that down dog. Inhale, look up at the chair. Take a nice step in. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep those arms or one arm up overhead. One more time. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, we're going to step those feet back. Nice straight arms on the chair. Exhaling to let the head hang between the arms. Inhale, looking up at the hands, taking one step in. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, and sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Good. Now we're going to bring the chair to the side of our mat, about center. Again, I'm going to keep the tall part of the chair closest to me. And then I'm going to stand right behind it, right in the center. I'm going to stand nice and tall here just for another breath. Okay, I'm going to plant my left foot. I'm going to step back as far as I can, nice stride with my right foot. I'm going to try to stay on the ball of that back right foot. I'm going to try to bend in that front leg. And I'm going to adjust as I need to so that the knee of my front left leg is over that left ankle. And I have the chair here for support. If I want, I can lift and raise that left arm, keeping the shoulder relaxed. This is crescent lunge. So you really want to think about pressing into that ball of the right foot and finding that nice bend in the left knee. Just making sure, though, that that left knee never goes past and over the toes. On the inhale, we're going to take that back right foot, and now we're going to bring it parallel to the back of the mat. Feel free to move and adjust your chair as you need to, or to readjust yourself. So now we have a parallel right foot with the mat. We're going to keep that nice bend in that left knee. We're going to pull the belly button back toward the spine, and we're finding here a warrior two. So you can stay here with hands on the chair. You can bring one arm out, looking over that front left hand, and you can work toward building toward both hands being out. Add a nice T where the fingers are reaching away from one another, but the shoulders are soft. Again, though, find that chair for balance if you need it. Keep that core engaged, that tailbone tucked. And on the inhale, we're going to put both hands here on the chair. We're going to bring both feet now parallel to the ends of the mat. And we're going to find a wide leg fold. So again, we try to keep a flat back, and we just hinge forward using that chair. Keep a hold until you feel you're stretched as far as you can go. And then you want to release the head. If you think you can go further at any point, again, you can move the hands down to different parts of the chair. You might eventually turn that chair around or slide it out a little further so that the head can go down a little further. But again, it's just wherever your body is today. There's no judgment. No expectation of what you should do. We're trying to keep those deep breaths here, trying to release and relax. On the next inhale, we're going to slowly make our way back up. Take your time, especially with the head having been down. And then when we get back up, we're going to turn the toes outward, bring the heels in so that they're going out toward the corners of your mat. We're going to keep the tailbone tucked. Pull, again, that belly button back toward the spine. We're going to sink the hips so that the knees track out over the ankles. And again, hands can be right here on the chair. You can lift one off, coming to hands at heart center, or work to get both, knowing that that chair is right there for support. And inhale, we're slowly going to come up. And we're going to bring those feet together. Good job. Now we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to leave the chair here. I'm just going to turn toward the back of my mat. So this time I'm going to step back with the left foot, working toward that crescent lunge. So I'm going to make adjustments here so I can keep a hold of my chair, keep that right knee over that right ankle, and stay on the ball of that back foot. My feet are on railroad tracks, not a balance beam. I have them wide set. I'm going to look straight out, again trying to keep that core engaged. I can keep hold of my chair. If it's comfortable, I'm going to work to lift now the right arm, keeping that right shoulder soft. Keep those nice, slow, steady breaths here. Inhale, we're going to seal that back foot down. So now it's parallel to the front of the mat. Those right toes are still pointing straight off of the back of the mat. I keep that nice bend in the right leg. And I'm going to find this warrior two on this side. Keep in mind each side might feel differently. This side might be harder, might be easier. Trying to gaze over those right fingers, or at least to the right side. Nice strong warrior two. Inhale, I'm going to turn toward the chair. I'm going to bring both feet parallel to the ends of the mat. I'm going to find that wide leg fold. So again, I'm going to try to keep a nice flat back as long as I can. And then I'm going to release the head and neck so that gravity is doing all the work here. And I just focus on sinking a little bit more with each breath. And inhale, I'm going to slowly make my way back up. Again, I'm going to take my time, especially there with the head, coming up last. I'm going to bring the heels in, turning the toes back out toward the corners of the mat. Engage that core, tuck the tailbone, and I'm going to sink the hips. Again, making sure that the knees are over the ankles. Nice tall spine, relaxed shoulders, slow deep breaths. And inhale to come up. And then I'm going to step my feet back in. I'm going to do a little balance. I'm going to do tree. So I'm going to bring my chair back here just to my side here on the mat. Let's use that left leg first as our base. So I have the chair on the left side so that it's in line with my anchor leg, and I can hold it here with my left hand. I'm going to start just with that right foot at the tripod. And this can be your tree. If this is challenging, stay right here. Really pull that core in, keep the tailbone tucked. Nice long length out of that anchor leg. If you want to progress from there, the sole of that right foot will come to the calf. Really trying to send that right knee straight out to the side, not to the front. You want to show me kind of that inseam of the pant. Again, same nice tall spine, nice tall anchor leg. Really pressing that right foot into the leg and the leg into that foot to help grow a nice tall tree. You can have that right hand at heart center. You can grow a branch. And you can work to try to let go of the chair, knowing it's right there to re-grab. And we'll release. Good. You can just turn, right, so that the right leg is now up against the chair. I'm going to just quickly put my chair toward the back of the mat so that I'm still facing you. But now I have that right leg next to the chair. And again, you can start with tripod, or maybe that left foot connecting with the calf of the right foot or right leg. Think about lengthening up, nice and tall. And you can grow a branch if you like with that left arm. Find a nice point to gaze at, something not moving. Help hold you steady. And we'll release. Very nice. If you want to move the hips a little side to side, maybe do some gentle circling of the hips, We'll go first one way, doesn't matter which way first. And then we'll switch directions, going the other way. Come back to center. Maybe keeping the foot on the mat, just sort of circling at an ankle and a little bit of a hip. We'll go the other way. And we'll do that other foot. First circling it and switching directions. Then we're just going to turn our chair so that it connects with the mat still. But we're going to take a nice seat. And there we go. We can close our eyes, enjoy the practice a little bit for just a few moments and breaths. Hopefully breathing in the good of the practice. Hopefully feeling a little taller, a little longer, a little stronger, a little more relaxed. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Feel free, of course, to rest here as long as you need to and soak in the good of the practice. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.